start the show. I like to start the show with a nice laugh because
Yes.
one of the things I learned from Ricki, she said, "Well, I'll be your co-host if we can have fun, and if we can't have fun, then I'm not doing it." So,
Yep. We tattooed fun across my forehead, but it covered
uh,
now. Covered it up.
yes. So, welcome. This is the Referral Business Builders Connectors Edge podcast. And I'm Marian LaSalle and my co host, Ricki McKenna, and our special guest today, Shonah Jefferson. And I'm really happy to see her because I met her in Houston. I don't know how many, at least 4 years ago, Shonah,
Hmm.
because I've been in Livingston for 3.5. So, welcome to the show, and we're
Yep.
proud to have you here. Ricki used to work with you, so I am excited to hear a little bit more about that. And I'm going to just give you a little bit of a introduction to Referral Business Builders. So, Referral Business Builders is for entrepreneurs and small business owners and people who want to own their own business or they want to start a side hustle. And it's a way that you can connect with people. So that's why we call this the Connector's Edge. We also have a Connector's Hour book club that meets every Monday
Hmm.
morning at 7:30 a.m. Central. And we also have different trainings that go on during the month. So we just had a training from Elise Nelson, who trained us on video marketing, which was awesome. And we have replays. We also have me coming up, and I'll be training on a software. I love training, and so I'm going to be training on one of my softwares that I love. It's called Notion.so. And what it does is help you um, keep all the thoughts that are going on in your head, your to-dos, everything you could possibly want to look at. It, well, anyway, you're going to get a lot of information from this training and from our group. So I like to turn it over to Ricki at this time because she knows you so well, Shonah, working with you. So I'm going to do that. And at the very end, I want you to be prepared because Ricki is going to ask you to make a comment down below. Now, we are on YouTube and we're also on all your podcast apps that your favorite that you like to listen to. So if you're walking the dog, you can just put your earbuds in and listen to us, or you can come over to YouTube and see what we look like.
We do that frequently.
Yes, yes.
Oh, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching us, everybody, and welcome. And welcome, Shauna.
Thank you,
Shauna
Ricki.
Jefferson and gosh, I forgot how we actually met, Shauna, but I
Uh,
know that
we
we
met at an
clicked.
event. It's kind of funny. I
Yeah.
hadn't been in business very long, and we met at, I can't remember, it was in the city somewhere. And then you saw me on, I think it was the TSEC podcast, that the Senior
Mm.
State Concierge podcast, I think is where you saw me. And then you called me and you said, I want to work for you.
Yeah, I
And
did.
after seeing me on that podcast, and
Yep.
so that's how we reconnected. And I guess that was like what, maybe right before COVID or right kind of in the middle
It
of
kind of
it.
it kind of in the middle of it,
Middle of it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was looking for something else to do besides the classes that I had been doing online. And I love to cook, as you know. And so it was kind of a
And you're good
perfect
at
match
it.
because,
Mhm.
thank you. The Chefs for Seniors I did, I was a senior for sure. And when I learned what you did, it was like, wow, that's so cool. And so we talked about it for not very long. And
Yes.
then I went with you to one of your clients' homes and I kind of apprenticed with you
Hmm.
to see what the situation was. I can still remember that. And it was a lot of fun. It really was. I mean, it was work for sure, because as chefs for seniors, we did menu. We offered the clients menus, and we offered them. Sometimes we offered them some specialties. And since I'm a
Hmm.
nutritionist, you had several clients who had some special needs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked about that. And I worked for several people, one of whom was actually a kidney patient. So the
Mhm.
diet had to be, you know,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
according to his needs for sure, and
Mhm.
his likes. And a couple of other people where we went through some very interesting times with people are kind of picky sometimes,
Yes.
as you know, and we have to accommodate that. And it was very interesting to get it started. And then I just kind of fell into it and it worked beautifully. But I'm going to let you tell us more about that because how long have you owned your business, Shauna, the Chefs for Seniors?
7 years.
It is 7 years
It is
now.
seven
Wow.
years now, since
Yeah.
2000, since
And
2018.
you've blossomed all out into Houston because I know you were kind enough to give me clients that I didn't have to travel too far in
Right.
Houston to get there.
Hmm.
And it was great. It really was because it it worked out. It's a very, how should I put it? It's a mutual not only a mutual agreement, but you kind of become part of the family as the chef
Yes. Hmm.
because they look to you to really feed them. And it's not only, in some cases, it's not only you're there preparing the food, it ends up as you're part of the family and you
Yes.
have conversations with the clients as well as you learn lots of things about them
Yes.
and so that you get to know them and they get to know you and you can tweak
Hmm.
things and just do little special things for them, which really endears the clients. It's a fun gig. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell us more.
So
There you are. You're on this side.
you've hit the nail on the head, Ricky. For me, it's just very important that our goal is to treat each and every one of our clients as if they are a beloved family member. Starting with the first time they reach out to us, how we explain the service to them, how we onboard them as a client, then how we cook for them and care for them as clients, but as they're like family members. And so for me, it is not a transactional business.
Right.
Um, and I know, Ricky, you've heard me say this, is that we are not in the food business, we're in the people business, and the
Business.
way we serve people is through
Yes.
food. So for me, it's very, very, very important for us to be high touch, and it's very relationship based. Even when it doesn't work out, that's fine. I don't believe in trying to
Hmm.
fit a square peg in a round hole. I want people to find the service that is right for them. But whether we cook for them 2 times or whether we cook for them 200 times, I want every client to feel as if this is a company that really cares about me as a person, that I'm not just a number or another dollar in the bank, because that for me that is of paramount importance.
Oh,
No, this is
that's
true.
beautiful. I love that because it's food, which is going in us. And so
Hmm.
if we feel like, oh well, they're just trying to get money out of me, that would mess with you. I don't yes, thank you for
No.
even mentioning that.
Well, food does more than feed the body.
Yes.
And as just as a chef, as a person, even having feeding myself, I want to feel good, not just have food that tastes good, but I want the food to leave me with a feeling of fullness, satisfaction, and happiness. I mean, I don't care if it's, if it's making my own potato chips or, just preparing a gourmet meal. It's something that feeds the soul as well as the body, and it's always
Exactly.
been that for me. And Shauna's the same. I mean, and the chefs, her other chefs, who some of whom I've met, are all on board, and it's almost like a little family.
I
It
have a
really is
couple
because I know
questions
that when
about the
I met some of
oh,
the other chefs, and hear them talk. And we used to have meetings, but was it every 2 weeks or monthly?
Once a month.
We'd have Zoom meetings. And it, it was like, okay, here come the rest of the brothers and sisters because we're all together in the same thing. And we talk about little challenges we might have had with some of the clients and some that are who are picky when you're trying to feed somebody greens and they don't like greens of any kind, even green beans. And, what do you do? How do you fix that? And how do you deal with somebody who's that wants to come into the kitchen and help you?
Hmm.
You remember so,
Yeah.
one in particular? It was like having a sous chef. It was fun.
Yes.
And we did her particular recipes. And Shauna and I said, well, she wants this and she wants that. And Shauna said, that's fine. If that's what she wants, that's what you can do, but we'll do it in a healthy way.
That's my next
That's the other
question.
thing.
Yes, is the
Yeah.
menu. I'd love to hear more
Oh,
about that.
yeah.
Is it, do you have a special menu that everyone goes by, all the chefs, or do they get to say what they want?
Um, so it's a combination. Most of my clients, Chefs for Seniors is a national franchise. So at a franchise level on our website, there is a menu and there's over 175 items on the menu. So it's hard to get bored. But believe it or not, I do have some people that will ask, do you have anything else than what's on the menu? And I'm like, oh
Oh,
wow, there's
yes.
175 items. But
Yep.
but it just really depends. But most of my clients order from the online menu, and they are what I call my standard clients. There is some level of customization there,
Yeah.
and meaning they can pick their sides. They don't have to, actually, if they don't like green beans and the menu suggestion is green beans, they can pick broccoli or something else.
Yeah.
We're always asking our clients about their spice tolerance,
Oh, yes.
their seasoning tolerance, those
Oh,
sorts of
that's
things, so we can
important.
get an idea of their taste buds. During the onboarding process, there's a 6-page food questionnaire that every client fills out, letting us know how much they love, like, or willing to try, or no thanks. All of the
Oh,
different foods. So we really get a pretty good picture of their palate, at least theoretically speaking. And then once the chef starts cooking for them is where we find out, practically speaking, where they fall. And so there's always that level of customization, whether you're a standard client or a custom client. Custom clients are clients who are on a special diet where they really can't order from our online menu. Like, for example, clients who require a renal diet, clients who have food sensitivities, allergies, clients who have irritable bowel syndrome, and there's something called a FODMAP, which is a type of carbohydrate where they need a low FODMAP diet. Clients with gout who need, I think it's either a low purine diet. So there's all these different kinds of special diets for people, just
Yep.
depending on what health conditions they have, which they fall into the custom category where the chef will curate a special menu for them based on their preferences and what their dietary restrictions are. So that's pretty much the way it works. And so our service is great for people who really do need some of that customization. I've talked to people who they don't like onions or garlic in their food, or don't
oh
want to see
no.
chunks of onions and garlic in their food, which
Yep.
means that ordering from meal delivery services or buying the HEB meals, things like that, don't work for them.
Right.
So then that's where they come to us, and we're able to either, if they tell us, well, we like onion, but we don't want to see it. Okay, well, we just put it in the blender and
I
they
was
still get
thinking
the
that.
flavor,
Okay.
and they don't see it. Or for people who cannot have onion, or who have acid reflux, or think
Right.
conditions like that, where purchasing off the shelf meals or meal delivery just really doesn't work for them. That's where we come in, and we're able to customize things for them.
How
But
often do you go to the home?
Depends on the client. We some For some clients we meal prep weekly. For some it's every other week, some it's every 3 weeks, and then we have some that are just once a month. It's really
Yeah.
just depending on their needs and how they use the service. For some of them, they still cook. They still want to cook, but they want the option of having healthy meals available to them on those days where they don't feel like cooking, or in situations where, let's say, one spouse is the caregiver and they're taking their spouse to and from doctor's appointments, things like that. On those busy doctor appointment days, they still want to be able to eat healthy, and so that's where our meals come in, and we're able to supplement what they're already doing. And then there's some people who depend totally on us for their meals, for their, they're basically their lunches and their dinners.
You're very flexible.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, yes. We are very flexible. We try and make it work for people's lifestyles and for their budget, because once again, I don't believe in trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, but I do believe in trying to make this work as best as I can for whatever situation people may have.
Yeah. I mean, I had some funny situations. I can remember you and I talked, and I would say, Shauna, can I do this? Because I'd get a
Is this
request from
allowed?
one of the, well, yeah, from one of the I learned about mustard greens from one of them, among other
Okay.
things, and she wanted me to make some of her recipes, and so that's what I did, and I would, shop. The fun part is, as the chef, I would shop that day, that morning, for each of the clients. And I have to tell you, I went through, for one of them, especially for the renal diet, I went through the aisle of tomatoes for something that resembled a pasta sauce, a tomato sauce, and the lowest amount of potassium in
Mhm.
any of the recipes for the
Wow.
tomato sauces. So this is something that the chef has to do, because in order to accommodate the correct type of diet for the person, that's what I did, and I learned quite a bit, just for myself as well as for the client, and yeah, it just works that way. But it's an education
Hmm.
as well as an occupation,
Yes.
Yeah.
because you learn, and you learn about the different quirks and the different choices of it. Like, I know one client in particular does not like rosemary. She's allergic to it. And I
Hmm.
think you know who I'm talking about. Or maybe you
Mhm.
don't. I don't know, but I can tell you later. But these are the things that the chefs for seniors do to really work. You're a custom chef when you're
Well,
out there.
what
And
about specials and things like that to entice them to use your service? Do you have like a coupon or a special that you run?
I do periodically. So the a special that I have for anyone viewing this podcast, since we're in 2025 and we're near the end of 2025, but still, so the special is $25 off in 2025. So
Ooh,
for the first two services, if you mention that you saw me on this podcast, then your first two services, you'll get $25 off each service.
that
that's
is
great.
wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, we'll push that out, won't we? As
Hmm.
we're talking, I'm thinking of people that I would like to offer this to, and this would be perfect because if you have a graphic or something or a special thing that I can send her, I would like to. There's two people actually that I'd like to introduce you to them. Now, let's talk about where you go. So
Mhm.
you're in the Houston area, but I know that you branched out. Ricki was telling me that you're starting to branch out. And she also mentioned that you have a chef that even can cover Livingston, which is
Mhm.
amazing. So let's
Mhm.
talk about where you go.
Okay. So the entire north side of Houston, so we'll go as far west as Cypress, Tomball. If I can get a chef who will go to Katy, I do have a handful of people that we will service in Katy, but for right now, it's more so Cypress, Tomball, west, north to Conroe, Willis, Spring, the Woodlands. I do have a chef who lives in Conroe. She lives actually closer to Huntsville than she does to Spring in a lot of ways. So she will take clients in Huntsville. Then we're moving
Great.
further east, over to Kingwood, Atascocita, Porter, Humble. I have a Kingwood chef who is willing to go to Cleveland and Livingston because she's from Livingston. I will go as far east as Huffman. So I have had clients in Huffman before.
Wow.
Then Southeast Houston, Pearland, Pasadena, League City. And then upon request, I will do, of course, just the Central Houston area. The only place that I know right now that I do not serve is the Sugarland, Richmond, Rosenberg area because I don't have a chef for that area. But I can do close in Missouri City. So the Missouri City that's closer to Pearland, that side, yeah, I can do Missouri City.
Wow, you really have branched out.
Yeah.
Shauna covers Houston and the
Pretty much.
surrounding areas.
Pretty much. Right now, I'm the only franchise operating in the Houston area. So,
Wow.
the
Good
areas
for
that I
you.
specifically mentioned are, contractually my territory, but then those areas that are not, because there's not another franchise here, it's just a matter of whether or not I have a chef who can service that
Now,
area.
do you
And
cook
did you?
yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Uh, Good question. I am now out of the kitchen. So
Really?
I do not have any day-to-day clients. So the only cooking that I do is for cooking demonstrations. So that's the bulk of what I do is as far as cooking is concerned, is going out into the community. And I partner with organizations like the American Heart Association, Oak Street Health, Central Well, and actually go into the community and do cooking demonstrations. And because not every senior, a lot of seniors unfortunately can't afford my service because we are private pay, or they don't have long-term care insurance that might cover it. And so I love doing the cooking demos and going into the community because I'm still able to fulfill our mission, which is to improve seniors' lives through food by providing them with healthy recipes and pointers and tips on how they can prepare healthier meals at home. And so still fulfilling the mission. And so that's also a very important component of what we do.
Yep.
That's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
Ricki, do you have
Have
one
you,
final question for Shauna?
do you still have your assistant? Is Becky still with you?
Becky is not with me, but I have Stacy and I have
Oh,
Edward, and so and Becky, well, Becky is still with me, but she's my card person. So Becky is a person, she sends out all of my greeting cards, get well
oh,
cards, thinking of you cards. So she does that for me. So uh
I'm glad you brought up that,
yeah.
particularly because I want to say something about you as a person, as a boss, as someone who runs an incredible business. For every holiday and your birthday, I always got a card, a personalized card, and a gift in some form or other from Shauna. I mean, she is one of the most thoughtful persons that I have ever met. I'm ashamed to say I can't come anywhere near her as far as the thoughtfulness with things like that. And
I
you're
don't know,
following up.
Ricki. I don't know, Ricki, because one day you delivered some stew to my office, okay, when I was in Houston. It was a root vegetable stew that I still talk about, with scars in my eyes, really. So
Well, it's
yeah,
that time of year again, too,
thank you.
Marian.
Yes, it is.
But no, Shauna is really one of the most thoughtful persons I have ever met in my life. She's beautiful in that sense. And if you have to work for somebody, if you want to work for somebody, Shauna's the person to work for because she is amazingly right there, right on it,
Unless
whenever
you
you
can't
need
cook, you
something,
probably
and
shouldn't go to
even when
work
you
there.
don't. And it's like she cooks up love, basically,
Oh, that's
Oh.
and it's
nice.
really an amazing service. And I know that it's a national franchise because I've seen some of the other chefs online
Mhm.
and we've connected. I don't even know who they are or where they are, but it's an amazing business to be in. But it's more like she's personalized it to the point where she knows what's going on, she knows what's happening with you, and she follows up every time. So I want to thank you for that, Shauna. Really, just
You're welcome.
amazing.
That's
You're
wonderful.
welcome. My
Thank
pleasure.
And
you.
can you, do you have anything that you want to let people know about? Because what I'd like to say before we close out is that if you've gotten one nugget, one idea, one thought that has helped your day, and if you want to call Shauna, we can put her phone number in there. Do you want to let us just give out your phone number?
Sure. You can reach me at 832-956-1848. Or you can email me at my name, Shonah, Shonah, at chefsforseniors.com.
Yep. And if you've gotten one nugget, one piece of wisdom, or one thing that really touched your heart, please let us know below in the comments. And we really appreciate your being here. And Shauna, thank you for being here. I'm
Oh,
so
my
glad we
pleasure.
got in touch. I mean, I will never stop calling you for
It's
something.
okay, Ricki.
We'll
Yes,
stay in
of course.
touch. I
Yes.
mean, she's just that kind of wonderful human being, and just the sweetest soul that I've ever connected with and worked with.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you,
Thank you.
Shauna, for visiting with us today. And
yeah.
if you want to, we would invite you to come back again if you have anything special going on or open up a new
Would love
series,
to.
a new place like Sugarland. Feel free to come on back because we loved having you.
Thank
Thank,
you.
Yep.
thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.